Okay, so I figured out that I do this thing because I've figured out that I try not to feel, um, and it's not conscious. um, it's very much unconscious. There's this unconscious thing going on, trauma response. Like it's like I'm not allowed to feel, and when I start to feel, I start to get scared. I start to feel like something's going to happen to me. If I allow all this to come out, and so I start to get scared, and but this starts happening when I'm like I've made a major life decision, right? And so we spent a bunch of money for me to take some training, and it starts the end of this month. And every time I've made a decision to um, take a step forward, or to like move forward in life, something that's going to improve, you know, um, my life, like taking, like becoming a teacher, or moving away, from my first teaching job, all these things, right? And so, but just other little things that, like, anyhow, so I figured out this is something that I do, okay? To try to sabotage myself. There's a part of me that does this. When I've made a big life decision, or something's, happening, whatever. So when I start to feel like emotions coming up, things like I'll start getting triggered more often. And and so I noticed that I quickly try to make myself stop crying. I quickly try to, like, like calm down right away. Um, but I noticed that, because I know that that's not the thing to do. The thing to do is to sit with this, if I'm able to sit with it, but to notice it, to acknowledge it, and to sit with it, and then to titrate, to go back and forth from a place that's comfortable to this uncomfortable place. But what I do instinctually, like right away, right off the bat, I don't know if it's a built-in instinct or it's more like a trauma response. This is not something that I was born with. This is something that happened, that I learned as a result of my environment growing up. And so I will, as soon as I start to feel any kind of emotion, any kind of, like, if I'm starting to feel like I'm going to cry, or um, anger, even, like, I will right away, I'll like try to stop it. I notice I try to change my breathing. I try to, like, calmly breathe, and this is not conscious. This is something that I noticed that I do, that I am not conscious of. So, but I am now conscious of it, right? Like, it's not something that I control consciously, but I'm now conscious of it when I do it. I notice it. So, um, so yeah, so in therapy today, I asked her if she noticed that I do that, and she says, yeah, like, it's a very common thing for people to do. So, um, so just a little while ago, like, I am watching a sappy movie or show. It's This Is Us, but bringing up a lot of stuff, but also just it's also the way I relax. But stuff was coming up, and I was letting myself feel it. I was saying, okay, like, instead of trying to stop myself, when I noticed that I started doing the breathing, I quickly stopped that, and I said, like, I acknowledged, what I was feeling, and I, I said, let's just gonna sit with this for a while. Let's feel this, and you know, and as soon as I started doing that, as soon as I did that, like, there's another part of me that gets scared, that there's a part of me that gets scared that if I start, I'm never going to stop because there's just so much, you know, that I've pushed down my life, my whole life. And then there's another part of me that starts trying to figure this out, trying to figure out, well, why am I feeling this way? It must be because I made that decision. So this is the self-sabotaging part because it starts to blame that thing for the way that I'm feeling. When really the way that I'm feeling is because of past. It's emotions coming up from the past and things that need to be, felt and processed. And so, like, yeah, like I noticed that that's what has led to my self-sabotage is because I don't want to feel. It was not safe to feel. I was not allowed to feel. I had to stifle that. It's like I was one of those kids that got the saying said to them, "Stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about." Like it's like not safe because my parents were not safe. They could not comfort me. They didn't have the capacity for my emotions, let alone their own. So anyways, that's where I'm at today. Things have actually been going really well. I have been like really in tune with my inner world, really in tune with my inner child, and um, and like we had a really good Christmas season, even with a couple of setbacks, a couple of things that happened, and I can still look back at it and go like that was really good. I had way more capacity than I've had in the past years. Um, because like I would avoid the kitchen because I was always getting triggered in the kitchen, and I figured out that I was overcoupling um, my mother and like my mother's messy kitchen and just that, because the kitchen was her domain with my kitchen. So I've learned to uncouple that. And so rather than avoid the kitchen and like not bake and stuff like I usually like to, this year I baked. I didn't bake all of the things, but starting back slowly, I baked three things. Yeah, three things. Yeah, so, yeah, it's like all of the things that I've been learning for years, the things that you've been hearing that you're supposed to do, feel your feelings and all that kind of stuff. And, um, oh, sorry. Jeez, I almost dropped it on my face. It's like it's finally clicking. It's like I'm finally at the place where, sorry about the lighting. I'm finally at the place where um, these things are coming natural. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's just like I'm at that place now where I'm able to do that, though. Um, and that's where I want to be. That's where, that's where I want to be, and that's where I'm going to continue to be because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to acknowledge our feelings, feel our feelings, and because I have had a lifetime of holding everything in. And even though it feels scary, um, I'm so glad to be where I am at right now, learning all of this and embodying all of this and finally becoming more connected to me. So anyways, I just had to share that. So I will talk to you all soon. All right. Peace and love. Bye.